It's November, and you know what that means. That means it's my October favorites. I know it always gets me confused, but I have to remember that it's November, so I'm showing you October. You know, do other people do that? Or maybe that they just talk about their favorites for this month. I'm not quite sure what the right way is, but I've been doing it like this, so I'll continue doing it like this. And what do I start with? I think I'm going to start, I like starting with things that are a little off the wall. I'm going to start with salt. And you're going to say, why salt? And I'm going to say, why not? I think it's off the wall, so that's the way I like to be. So I'm going to start with Malden Salt. And I know that one of my followers lives in Malden and knows exactly where this salt comes from. Plus, this was Queen Elizabeth's favorite salt. This has got the royal warrant to Her Majesty the Queen. I don't know if Charles has kept it. Now, this salt I love it because it's very flaky. It's very salty, but it's flaky. It's like almost like snow. Wait a second. I don't want to spill. Wait a second. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very flaky, and it's very salty, and it's flaky, and it's beautiful. And I keep it in a little salt cellar, and dip my fingers into it and spread it on the food. So that's one. So that's Malden salt, and that's what you would eat after the food is done. You don't season your salt with. You don't season your food with this. After you've cooked something and you're eating, you would put it on it. I wanted to show you my salt cellar. Look at this. Do you see? It's like little flakes of snow, but this is where I keep my Malden salt. Isn't that fun? I know, I'm getting salt all over. Are you supposed to put salt over your left shoulder or over your right shoulder? I'm not sure, but I love having a little salt cellar. I bought this in Sun Valley, Idaho at one of those peddlers fairs. This is pink Himalayan salt, and so this is like rock salt, and this is for, grinding your own salt. So this, again, I use it probably after food is cooked, or maybe while I'm cooking it. The one that I use all the time for cooking is Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt. And all the chefs cook with kosher salt because it's not that salty. It's very, it's better for cooking. Ina uses it, all the chefs use it. And so an interesting story. I studied cooking, I think it was a week in Tuscany with Giuliano Bugiali, and he would not let any of his students salt the food. It was that special to him that he salted it himself, which I thought was interesting. He wouldn't let us touch. God forbid we touch salt. No, no, no. We could take parsley and take each leaf off of a stem, but could we use salt? No, no. I'm saying that in French when he was Italian. How do you say no in Italian? No? I don't know. Anyway, so this is cooking salt, and this is what I salt the water. When I make pasta, I use this. When I'm cooking, this is what I use. And then you've got French salt, and that's this Belline and Sel de Mer Fine. I've got this in gross, which is thick crystals, and in fine crystals. And I use this when it calls for French salt. And then you're probably thinking I'm nuts. So I live near Cedars-Sinai Hospital, and on the corner, they usually have a Latino woman, and she's got a whole glass case filled with fabulous fruits. Not vegetables, but this wonderful array of beautiful ripe fruit. And she seasons it with, this is called tagine. Have you heard of it? It's a big thing here in LA that people use this. You put it on fruit and it just it spices it up a little. Not so that you'd get too spicy, but it's a wonderful thing to put on fruit or when you want to spice up a meal. So this is tagine, Tagin, and it tastes wonderful on fruit. And you buy a plate of this fruit, and it's so fresh tasting with a little bit of heat to it. Love this. Another salt. Well, let's go to something very different from that. My good friend, my Instagram buddy, Kathy, had recommended this to me before, and I used it. I used it up very quickly and then forgot about it and tried other ones. And I recently wrote to her and I said, Kathy, what is your favorite skin cleanser these days? And she reminded me it's called Pharmacy Green Clean. It is so good. It melts on your skin immediately, makes your skin feel great. This is my favorite cleanser these days. And it's, let's see, it's Melt Away Cleansing Balm. Well, what I do is I put this all over my skin and over my eyes, and it really melts into your skin. And then I take a one of those washcloth cleansers, and I get it warm, and then I just take it off. This is really good. Excellent cleanser. So if you're in the market for a cleanser, this is really, really good. I love it. And then we go to, have I told you about, oh my goodness, I love this. So this is it's like a mandolin. You slice vegetables on it. I have so much fun using it that I find any excuse I put it on. I shave, what do you call it? Cucumbers, carrots, anything I can find. I love doing this. I just love putting it on salads. I love slicing this, mushrooms, and this has points on it, really sharp ones, so that you don't shave your knuckles. It's a great, and I think this is by OXO. I think it is. It must be, because I love their products. Yeah, it's OXO. I'll put I put the products down below, in the show more, and I'll also pin it to the first comment. Love this. It's so much fun. You have such beautifully sliced veggies, what have you. Love this. So I've been using this every day in my salads. Mainly salads. Have I done it? I'm not. Mainly salads, I must admit. Speaking of food, I don't know if you go to Costco, but we do. And one of the things that I love from Costco, everybody raves about Parmesan cheese. I love Pecorino Romano because it's saltier. So I love Pecorino Romano. So I get a great big wedge of it, and I wrap it up in wax paper to keep it moist. And then, wait a second, and then scrape it. Over pasta, over whatever you have. You have one of these, right? This used to be a rasp. It didn't used to be. How was this discovered? There was a woman whose husband was a carpenter, and he thought of, what about if you used this for grating things? And he was right, and he started a whole industry. They have these rasps for chocolate, in all different sizes, all different ways of using it. And I've got at least two. And I love my rasp, and I love my Pecorino Romano. That's my favorite. So highly recommend my rasp and my Costco Pecorino Romano. What else? Oh, so I have a tough time remembering where I'm supposed to be and when, etc. So, and I keep everything on my computer, but my computer isn't with me all the time. And I find that I can remember things better if I write them down. There's something about the process of writing it down. Many times I'll watch YouTube videos, and other creators will talk about a lipstick or a pencil or this or that. And if I write it down, I've got it there and I can remember. I don't have to go back to the video to try and remember. So I love these little books, and you're going to say why. They are called, this is my 2024. They're called Hobonichi Techno Planner. This is for Hobonichi Techno Planner 2024. why do I like this? I like the pages. They're very thin. So the pages are very thin. And that means this isn't heavy. I like the size because I can put it in my purse and I can take it with me. Because that, I mean, like right now, I know I really like this. But I love it, and it's been through the wars, and it's still in good shape. I mean, I've spilled things on it. So, I mean, right here, I've written down that there was a sale. It may still be going on for Refer brushes, customer support. I know that there's some lip pencils that I want to try, and it's written down here someplace. But I find it. So I love having, and this may not be the right one for you, but I do keep a planner like this with me all the time. I love it. So this is my 2024, and this is last year's, or this year's. Okay, what else have I got here? Well, let me tell you about a couple of books. If you want an enjoyable book, there's one on Bunny Melon, and it's by Merle Gordon. And who is Bunny Melon? She was married to, at the time, maybe the richest man in the United States, one of the richest men in the entire world, and she lived an incredible life. Some of the things that she would do, she was an incredible gardener and a wonderful garden designer, and collected garden books, and such a perfectionist that she would drive by one of her estates and she would see the leaves that had fallen. Well, what she had people do was collect the leaves that had broken and take them away, and only use leaves that had not broken and have those dropped all over so that there were no broken leaves. The same things with potato chips. She would only serve potato chips that were not broken. Now, I'm making her sound a little crazy, but she was quite the perfectionist. Another book I want to mention, it's called Theranos. Now, this is a fascinating story, and it's a true story. It's about a young woman. I say she's young because I think she was like 21, 22. She dropped out of Stanford. She discovered this device that you could use one drop of blood, and it went into this device, and it did the work of, you know, when you get your blood taken and you have maybe 6 vials of blood, they could do all of the 6 vials of blood with 1 drop of blood. That's how the story went. She collected billions of dollars, and it's her story. And it's fascinating, excellent book. It's called Theranos. I'll give you the name of the author. It's one of the better books that I've read in book club. Let's see, what else? Washing your hair. Oh, something else. You know, I keep a shoehorn with my makeup. It's because I'll finish my makeup and then I'll bend down, you know, to put my shoes on to go out, and I've got a shoehorn right there. So I suggest that you keep a shoehorn with your makeup. And people will say, why does she keep a shoehorn with her makeup? And you'll be able to tell them, so I can get my shoes on easily. Right. Who is Jennifer Aniston married to? No, not Jennifer. J-Lo is married to, what's his name? I don't remember his name. But anyway, he stars in it, and it's called State of Play, and it's a good old-fashioned movie. It's about good old-fashioned movie that I think you'll enjoy. This is another, it's not a series, so you don't have to binge on it, but if you want to see a good old-fashioned movie, I'll give you, and I don't know again whether it's on Amazon or Netflix, but I'll put it on the, as I say, on the show more, and I'll pin it on to the first comment. A show that I've really enjoyed that is perfect for binging is called The Morning Show. Now, it came out about 2 years ago, and it's with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, but I'd read a review about it, and they put it down, and they said, oh, it's not worth your time, blah, 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 and so I didn't watch it. And I thought, okay, I won't watch it. It is so good. It's delightful. Well, I don't know if it's delightful. It's really entertaining. It's really good. Bob and I have been watching it, and it's perfect for binging. We've been watching it, maybe 2 a night? It's a great binging show. So they've got three seasons of it. I don't know if there's going to be a 4th. I'm still on I think I just watched the end of season 2. But if you need to be entertained, if you want to binge on something, if you want to be, it's really good. And of course, I was looking at everything I was looking at Jennifer Aniston's nails and what she was wearing, and it was fun. It's good. It's all about a morning show and other stuff. But I really enjoyed it. And it's on, oh, I always do this to you, don't I? I never can remember. Even if I'd remembered, I'd never remember. It's either, but I'll put it in the show more, and I'll pin it up on the first comment that it's either Netflix or Amazon, okay? Prime. It's one of those. Something else. When was the last time you washed your hairbrushes? Not your makeup brushes, but your hairbrushes. Well, I took a look at mine and was thoroughly disgusted. Took them into the kitchen and washed my brushes. And they look so sparkling new. They look beautiful. And how do I do it? One of the things I do is I take a scissors and I go down all the rows so that it's easy to pull up all the hair that has come out. And then I wash it with, I take a toothbrush, and an old toothbrush, not one that I'm using, and I rub up and down the rows and use detergent because it's good for oil. And I think I was using Dawn detergent, and then I kind of rinse them with vinegar because vinegar is kind of like a natural sanitizer, and clean them, and oh my goodness, they look so beautiful. It's very gratifying, and it's perfect to do someday when you need to get your life in order. Wash your hairbrushes, and then your life will seem like it's in order. A dear friend of mine had major surgery, and she came home from the major surgery, and she's doing great. But I wanted to get her something. Well, I realized because she was on Instagram, she got flowers every single day. So the last thing she needed from me were flowers. But I remember when I was recovering from surgery that it was wonderful. Somebody brought me dinner. And not somebody, I know who it was. Thank you, Ellen. And it was wonderful. I loved it. What a treat. And she did it so beautifully. But it doesn't even have to be done beautifully. It's the idea of having homemade food. And so I asked my girlfriend, I said, I'd love to make you something. I'd love to bring you food. And she said she'd love it, and she wanted soup. So I said, well, what would you like? Would you like minestrone? Would you like pea soup? Would you like onion soup? Whatever she'd like. Wanted pea soup, so I made her pea soup, and I really had a good time making it. It was a pleasure making it because it was for my dear friend. And so the next time maybe somebody needs some help, bring them over a bowl of soup, a bowl of chili, a bowl of something that they can eat, and it really feels good to eat homemade food. Oh, now I mentioned before, but I'm going to mention it again. Lisa Eldridge has some wonderful matte lipsticks. They're called Velvet, and the texture on them is it's gorgeous. It does look like velvet. And I hadn't thought about this, but in the lipsticks that I bought, there were some that were what is the word? That were really matte. No, it wasn't that they were matte. They were dark, and they looked terrible on me. I do not look good in kind of brown lipstick. But my girlfriend Elizabeth, Elizabeth, the vintage Contessa.blog, looks fabulous she wears browns and she wears dark lipstick. So I sent them to her, and she said, Sandy, you're not going to believe this. The lipsticks don't bleed. I was thrilled. So you might look at Lisa Eldridge's lipsticks. It's online, Lisa Eldridge, what is it, Lisa Eldridge makeup.com. Just look up Lisa Eldridge and look at her velvet lipsticks. and they don't run. So start there. And if you have a problem with lipstick running, at least buy one of her velvet lipsticks. And her colors are intensely pigmented, and the colors are beautifully mixed. She's got quite an eye, so I go for it. Go get a Lisa Eldridge. Give yourself a Lisa Eldridge lipstick for the holidays, or even for the non-holidays. When you buy something from Amazon, don't buy from third parties. Buy from either the original maker or Amazon, that it's shipped by Amazon, that it's from the Amazon warehouse, because there have been talks about things being, copies. Be aware of who you're buying from, even on Amazon, because there have been a lot of fakes. So I don't want you to buy a fake. You know, you were all so impressed, with good reason, with my sister's book that she made. I wanted you to know that you can make, is this upside down? Yeah. I wanted you to know that through Apple, you can make wonderful books. Make a book of your mother's recipes, of your recipes. Leave them to your family. This was a book I made for my husband's 75th birthday, and I love him with his black tie. It was for my daughter's wedding. And this was a simple book. I've got more complicated. I'll show you more of them. But this was pictures of my husband and I through the years. And this was I think my first book. And so I didn't have a lot of words. I didn't do a lot of writing, but I just did a lot of photos of the two of us through the years together. I'll show you, I've got some more books I did of my husband's life story. And have I done one of me? No. But I just wanted you to know that there are a number of books. And go to the Apple Store and see if they can help you. Take classes. Maybe they have a class in doing this. This is a wonderful gift, no matter how you make it. And it's very gratifying. My husband and I made books for my grandson when he was just born, for my grandson and my granddaughter, of them at the beach. And the kids had not seen them because, my daughter had put them away, that they were young when we made them. Anyway, so you might want to get involved in making something, in learning how to make it. And I think you'd have fun, and it's a great gift, just a wonderful gift. So I think that's all for this month. I'll be back. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I'm not sure where I'm going to be next. We're going to go to my daughter's house for Thanksgiving, and our grandson was going to go with us. We were going to pick him up, and we were going to all drive together to my daughter's house. Well, my grandson just got COVID, so we won't be driving together. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week, because I didn't think I was going to be here next week. So we'll all be surprised. Thank you to all my new followers. Thank you to my old followers. Thank you to all of you. And have a happy Thanksgiving, a healthy Thanksgiving, and a delicious Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for.